Very safe place. So we were out in Calgary and we had the big reunion of the whole cast of TNG. So I interviewed you actually that morning, if I'm not mistaken, in lead up to it.
I was there, AJ.
Yeah, you remember. I'm letting them know. And so now I get to talk to you afterwards. What did you think about it? What was the feeling like being up on stage with everyone again? That bad, huh?
Who were those people? You know, our particular cast is very close. And as some of us no longer live in North America, no names please, Sir Patrick Asshat. He was supposed to be here this weekend. Did you know that, AJ?
I knew that.
If you can't throw your friends under the bus, what kind of friend are you? So when we get together, as we did in Calgary, it's pandemonium.
Kind of was.
And that's just dinner. That was wild. Have you ever been to the Calgary Stampede, y'all? One girl. Rope Square. Pancakes. They got a theater there, right? How many people?
I think it was like almost 10,000?
10,000 people. And we
Maybe
did.
I'm exaggerating. I don't know.
You probably are, AJ. You tend to
to
exaggerate.
Yeah.
It's the word on you.
Yeah.
However many people there were, it was packed.
It was.
And you guys had a band on stage. And there were 3 of you.
We had 3 moderators.
Yes.
But with I think it was 9 cast members. We wanted to divide the work.
Both Denise Crosby and Will Wheaton were in Calgary with us, and it was pretty wild. It was a very enthusiastic crowd.
It was a fun night.
And then the drinking started, which is really the best part of seeing one another, is because that's what we used to do when we were together, all the time. I mean, not during work, of course, but
No.
definitely after.
We do have a microphone on the floor, so if you have questions for Levar, feel free to start lining up. Let me ask you one thing before we get
AJ,
going.
please ask away. I am really, really curious to know what your first question is going to be, given that you are a professional journalist. No pressure.
I don't know if working for Space makes you a journalist necessarily, but...
Or a professional, but here you are,
professional.
nonetheless, sitting next to me. You're the guy they assigned to be the interlocutor. So,
Well, actually, I was drawn to your Twitter account. You tweet, you stay in touch with your fans, and your bio reads actor, director, educator, student. Why did you include both educator and student?
you can't be a good teacher unless you're willing to learn something yourself.
So, the question was good. I got a good answer. So,
There's that professionalism eking its way out of you, in spite of your employer. What? God, you guys are touchy.
they're protective of their genre TV channel.
You know what?
We appreciate it.
I love space. No, I do. I actually do love space. Oh, and the TV channel.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, they're both great.
They're lovely. Both of them. Both of them.
We'll go to the floor. You were very enthusiastic. What's your question, my friend?
First, I just want to say that the scenes with your character Geordi and Data are some of my favorite scenes in all of the Star Trek series. Man.
You're a big Geordi Data combo plate fan,
Yeah, a
are
little
you?
bit of bromance going on there.
The bromance
Love it.
thing?
Love it. Yeah, love it. And the second thing is, you know what I mean?
Have you seen his nose?
And the other thing is, we were going to ask if you would maybe do a Reading Rainbow sing-along with us.
to that. Okay, where's my girl? Where she came with her father? She was at the table earlier with her father. She was supposed to be here in this room. She flaked out on me. All right, no worries. What is your name?
Emma.
Emma. Are you certain? Okay. There was a little bobble there at the beginning.
Sorry.
You said, Emma.
I wasn't sure if you want my full name.
Ah, and your full name would be?
Emma Berkmans.
Emma Burton?
Berkmans.
Oh. For a second, I thought you were my ex-wife. Emma Berkman.
Yes.
Yes. You would like to sing the Reading Rainbow theme song?
Well, I mean, even just the first chorus.
Right. Will your friends join in? That's... All righty. Video recorders ready, y'all? God bless. Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a, it's in.
I'm reading rainbow.
Oh my God, you guys are so good! Give yourselves a hand! My favorite part of every con Q&A. Emma, well done. Well done. Give Emma a hand for leading the charge. Thank you, Emma.
Now top that with this question.
I just wanted to know what it was like directing some of the other series that you had worked on as well. From what I've heard from other guests is that they said that you were quite a joy to work with.
The other Star Trek series?
Yes.
Yes. I enjoyed the job a lot. Directing the Next Gen cast was never any fun. Your friends tend to be very mean to you when they get a chance to hold power over whether you make your day as a director or not. Payback, as they say, is, you know. So, the other casts were wonderful. I'd work with them any day. Next Gen cast, not so much.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Excuse me, could we have the questioners line up across the front? Nobody back here can see.
Could we have the questioners line up at the front
Good idea.
as you are blocking the view of your fellow Canadians on the aisle? Well done. Well done. Yes, please do stay in the same order. No jumping the queue in the confusion. That would be impolite.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm going to bring it back to Reading Rainbow, which I feel like it's going to be
I feel a Reading Rainbow swell in this room. By show of hands, how many of you grew up on the show? Okay? Oh my God! Seriously? I love you people!
Canadians are very literate.
Canadians are very polite and they read. The height of civilization. Manners and literacy.
I was just wondering what it was like to do Reading Rainbow for so many years while you were still doing TNG and directing and doing the movies and stuff. And also what it's like to have a catchphrase that's so famous.
What is the catchphrase that's so famous?
Well, you don't have to take my word for it.
But you don't have to take my word for it. No, really, you don't have to take my word for it. Okay, no, but you don't have to take my word for it. What's it like having a catchphrase? It's pretty cool. It's my Twitter handle. you know. But you don't have to take my word for it. I abbreviate to BYDHTTN. Which takes almost as long to say. But with the hashtag in front, it seems to be universally accepted as, what the hell does that mean? Did I answer any part of your question?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I just want to say thanks for reading Rainbow because I, like a lot of people here, watched Reading Rainbow with my brother, and then he watched Star Trek because of Reading Rainbow because of the episode you did, and then I watched Star Trek so I wanted to hang out with my brother, and I kind of brought everything together. It's really cool.
I'm exhausted. I think I need a nap. Tell your brother I said thank you. I think. Okay? Give her a hand.
That's up, Levar.
I'm all right. How do you feel?
Not bad, not bad.
Good.
Curious about how it was to work on with Family Guy, the cast there, and the rest of the cast of TNG.
Weren't they the same people?
So you know Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, Seth MacFarlane. Yeah. Him. Anybody see Ted?
Yeah.
Did you not laugh your ass off? Seth MacFarlane, he's funny enough to be Canadian, isn't he? Right? He's pretty funny. You know, we were not all in the studio at the same time when we recorded The Family Guy. We were all there separately. And then none of us were there when they actually drew us. So we didn't get to see it until it aired. I was pleasantly surprised at just how animated we all were. You see what I did there? It's a little play on words.
Next up.
Thank you.
Oh, let me ask you as a follow-up.
As a follow-up, AJ
On
has
that
a follow-up.
front, rumor has it that Seth MacFarlane has expressed interest in rebooting Star Trek for TV. Do you think he would be the right guy to, shepherd the reintroduction of the franchise into television?
I don't think anybody on the planet better suited to the task. Yeah.
Why is that?
He's Seth MacFarlane.
Okay. Simple answer.
I just wanted to know, why did you start acting? Like, what made you do it? Pursue it?
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
It was like working on Community, and the people actually freak out like Troy did when they see you.
Working on the episode of Community was probably the most fun I had in 2012. There was that time in the basement. But you don't want to know about that. No, I love the episode of Community. Donald Glover is so talented. The man is ridiculously talented. You know he used to write for 30 Rock, Donald Glover?
I was actually at one of his concerts.
Were you? Childish Gambino?
Yeah.
I just think the man is so talented he deserves to be beat about the head. Repeatedly. He's really, 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 really smart. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
And you didn't hear it from me. But rumor has it, there'll be another Levar Burton signing this year on Community.
We didn't hear it from you
You
then.
did not hear it from me. And here's a scoop, which you did hear from me.
Okay.
Got a call Friday about my availability for another episode of The Big Bang Theory.
And those actually went to air, the episodes, like in the same week or the
They
following week?
did. I think they were back-to-back weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wacky.
how do you manage to get involved in the? I mean, obviously you're LeVar Burton, but you know, like what is it? You know, that moment like when you find out you're going to be in these two iconic shows that celebrate, you know, geek culture in the way that they do.
What is it like?
Yeah, when you.
It's an opportunity to, you know, do the happy dance.
Yeah.
And look in the mirror and say, "My God, you really rock." AJ, why is it that you have this effect on me? You get me to say things that I really shouldn't say about it. It's that, I don't know, that Mike Wallace like steely glare, right? It's intimidating, AJ.
Animal magnetism.
That's part of what it is.
We'll go to another floor question. We'll make it less awkward up here. Next up.
Okay, there we go. Hi, LeVar.
Hello.
I'm just wondering, with your continued commitment to the Reading Rainbow series until it was taken off the air, and now the iPad app for Reading Rainbow, I was wondering if you would ever consider bringing the show back to television through whatever means.
You know, people have asked me that question before, and the reason we brought Reading Rainbow back as an app for tablet computers is because this new generation of kids, television is only one of the many screens that will occupy their time going forward. We're not going to put that genie back in the bottle, y'all. For the foreseeable future, the next generations will be glued to some mobile screen or another. Television was the medium that we used in the 80s and 90s. That's where kids were hanging out. Now, they're IMing each other while DMing each other, while instant messaging each other, and they're next to one another. It's the multitasking, wired generation. So in order to have an impact on education going forward, it was absolutely essential to be where the future generations of kids are going to be, and that's on tablet devices.
On that same front, if I can ask a follow-up on that, is the most innovative creative content that's happening currently, is it on television? I suppose serialized entertainment, is it television, or is it, you know, web series and you know, creative new ideas that are being introduced through apps and things like that? Yeah. What is the new frontier in the digital world?
I do believe that that mobile technologies as the delivery system for entertainment and education going forward is the platform of the future. I honestly believe that. The fact that they are so engaging, these tablet devices, right? If you are able to put storytelling in them, you can literally revolutionize the way we educate our children in half a generation. We are so hardwired to want to engage in these with these very interactive devices. And there's a lot of mindless content being produced. Not that anyone in this room would know anything about that. Because nobody here spends any time just wasting time on an interactive device, do they? No, I mean, these devices are so engaging, and storytelling is the most powerful delivery system for content of any kind. Human beings are genetically predisposed to be open in the presence of storytelling. So I believe that this technology is the technology that will turn the intersection of entertainment and education into a revolution in terms of how we actually get the job done.
Great answer.
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Next up.
Hi, Levar. It's a pleasure to meet you. Speaking of technology, it's interesting how they had some kind of form of an iPad in the TNG, and now it's computerization. But my question for you is...
Steve Jobs owes me a royalty.
Jimmy Fallon does an amazing version of Reading Rainbow. Have you seen it? And if so, what's your opinion on it?
I think Jimmy Fallon is brilliant. I think his version of the Reading Rainbow theme song is equally brilliant. Are you going to show this video to Jimmy, by the way? Sure. You're just taking it for your own personal enjoyment. Get home, replay the moment.
Does everyone know the Jimmy Fallon version of the Reading Rainbow theme song?
Oh, he does the Reading Rainbow theme song as Jim Morrison from The Doors. Google it.
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
Next up.
All right. Well, I already got my sing-along and my community question answered. So I guess all I've got left to say is just from everyone who raised their hand earlier, thank you so much for reading Rainbow. Thank you for letting. It's like it had such a profound effect on me and my love of books. So thank you so much.
What are you reading now?
Right now, I'm finishing up the 5th book of Game of Thrones.
God bless. Nice choice. Nice choice.
Well, let me ask you something. Obviously, you are interested in educating, the youth of the world. You, beyond Reading Rainbow and Star Trek and Roots, you directed a documentary about the science behind world peace. That's a pretty heavy subject to tackle. What did you learn from that documentary? If there's like a concise, something that we could all do in our day-to-day lives to help usher in that notion of like a utopia on the planet. Is there something that you gleaned from that experience that you could share with us?
It's easier for human beings to be angry than it is to come from a place of love. Anger is a more autonomic response than it takes consciousness to be kind. And we're in short supply. Except here in Canada, that is.
We've got the world's largest amount of the natural resource of positivity.
Positivity abounds within these borders.
Hi, my question is actually about Star Trek.
That would be the next room over, ma'am. This is the Reading Rainbow panel.
I just wanted to ask you to comment on the visor and how it sort of transformed Geordi's disability into an extraordinary, unique ability, and what that says about the vision of the future that you were helping portray.
If I understand the question correctly, and I'm not sure that I do, the visor did indeed have an impact on the way the character was realized. In a real practical sense. When I put the visor on, 80% of my vision was taken away. Most notably, I could not see my feet, which is only valuable if you want to navigate without tripping or bumping into shit. However, as the chief engineer, Geordi could never be seen looking for where his feet are because he always had to be looking at the horizon to see what crock of crap was hurtling in his direction that he had to address. So it really became important to me that I figured out really quickly how to get around the set without the visual reference of where my feet were. And it just took practice. It just took learning how to do that so that every move he made was with confidence and a sense of purpose. And it is that sense of purpose, I think, that is what drives the character. He's got shit to do. And he's the right guy to get shit done.
Hi.
Hi.
What was your favorite TNG episode?
There's one in every room, isn't there? My favorite TNG episode. My favorite TNG episode. My favorite TNG episode. I know. I kind of like the ones where we didn't have to wear spacesuits. Right? I loved it whenever Geordi and Data were Holmes and Watson. Yeah. Mostly because I had so many pockets. I had a vest, I had a jacket. There are no pockets in spacesuits. Did you know that? We didn't have any pockets. Our tunics were always riding up. We had to do the Picard maneuver constantly. Pull them down. I liked having costumes where I could put my hands in my pockets. Those were my favorite episodes of all. Thank you.
Where would you keep your sides? Because on most TV sets, they give you those little printouts that are this big, your sides for the day.
Yeah.
Like when you don't have pockets.
Yeah. You see the problem? Everyone had a unique solution. Use your imagination.
Hi, my name is Michael. Welcome to Canada, and thank you for coming.
Thank you. You know, I love the city. Toronto is one of my favorite cities on the planet. That is the square biz. I lived here. I lived here for 6 months for pre-principal and post photography on a little Christmas movie that has actually, I think, it's become kind of a classic around holidays here in Canada. Have any of you ever seen the movie Blizzard? Right? Directed by Kunta Kinte. That's right. They had the black man direct the movie about snow.
Knowing Brent Spiner's tremendous affection for cats, whatever happened to Spot? And do you have any dogs or cats?
I do have a dog, and I don't let Brent near it because of what happened to Spot.
I heard it was a goat, but I guess I was misinformed.
Well, I wouldn't know about that. You're welcome, sir.
Next up.
You have your question written on your iPhone?
No, I'm going to tape this and
You're going to tape this.
show it to Matt Myra because I know that he's.
Are you going to show it to Matt?
Yes.
Matt, Alpha 39!
I was hoping that would happen. I was born in the 80s, so both Reading Rainbow and The Next Generation were the formative things of my life, and the fact that you were on both clearly made you my favorite actor, which was awesome.
You, sir, have such impeccable taste.
It's true. I truly do. Absolutely. You can ask my friends. So I wanted to thank you for that. And I was always in special ed classes as I was growing up, and there were people in those classes with physical disabilities, and you were always a hero to them because the character that you played on The Next Generation not only had a physical disability, but turned it into an ability.
Right.
So on behalf of them, I wanted to thank you too.
God bless.
And you're awesome, and keep on going.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Is that a frequent thing when the fans come up to you, to get an autograph, to get their photo taken? Is that a frequent sentiment that you receive?
It is, and I enjoy it. You have to understand that, I was a fan of the original series primarily because of the presence of Michelle Nichols. I read a lot of science fiction books when I was a kid, and heroes of color were not all that common. So Gene's vision of the future was one that I completely embraced because it embraced me. So to have grown up and represent, again, in Star Trek, for people dealing with physical challenges, what Nichelle Nichols represented for me when I was growing up, seeing oneself represented in the popular culture is immeasurably important for the formation of one's identity and self-image. And I don't think you can underestimate the value of seeing examples that one can relate to in the popular culture, especially when you're growing up. So I'm totally with it.
Is that the greatest legacy that Star Trek will leave, that idea of acceptance, or is it its optimism for the future? Is its technology, you know, how we were talking about how iPads exist now in part because of that vision? Or what is it that is Star Trek?
I think that the legacy of Star Trek is really multifaceted. There is the technological aspect that, you know, and that's how we create the future, really, by focusing on images, using our imagination, and you have to start somewhere. And Gene's blueprint is, I think, a remarkable model for so many reasons. The technology that is represented in the future on Star Trek has actually helped propel the advancement of technology in our present. Just look at the flip cell phone, modeled after the communicator, the Bluetooth earpiece on Lieutenant Uhuru's communicator. The examples are so rife in our present universe. And then there is the inspirational value. I know for a fact that there is an effort going on that will be announced early this fall, where they are starting the formation of the effort that will lead to humanity's putting life, human life, in a star system different from our own within the next 100 years. Now, in order to do that, all of the culture, the politics, the organization, the art, the science, the food, I mean, everything has to be self-contained because it's going to be a decades-long journey. And in order to get that done, we can only do it on the basis of cooperation and not competition. And it's going to have to be a global buy-in. And so when you think that they're actually thinking about creating what Gene called the Federation of Planets, that's not such a bad deal for coming out of a television series, you know? I think it's pretty cool. I'm really a big fan of Gene's vision, and I think it comes closest to the future I would like to not only live in, but the future I'd like to help create.
First off, my name is Brian Moore.
Hello, Brian.
And as a lot of people here, I was a huge fan of reading Rainbow. Yes, I will admit, and Star Trek. I don't read much book-wise, but I read a lot internet-wise. And Star Trek, I don't know about you, but I always thought, how can I word this? The way they went through space all the time, it's like they were trying to find another world because our world was uninhabitable because of pollution and all that. Like, I always got that feeling from it.
Well, I never did. I never got the feeling that Star Trek, that our in the mythology of Star Trek, I never got the feeling that it was dystopian in the fact that we had to leave this planet and go out there. My assumption was more that it was a choice, and that it was a part of our evolution as a species that we decided to do it, not out of need, but out of a desire to explore.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Like well, two things possible.
Yeah, I agree.
But I bet you appreciated the break in Star Trek. I think it was First Contact and Insurrection and Nemesis. I bet you appreciated the break from just having to wear blue contacts instead of the visor throughout the series.
I hated the visor, Brian.
Yeah.
Well, hate is a strong word.
I got the impression of that. That's why I said.
Hate is a strong word. I loathed the visor. I think it's more accurate.
Yeah. Especially if it's cutting off most of your vision.
Well, that, and we screwed it into my head, yeah.
Like, I thought...
No, we really did. You don't believe me, do you? You think I'm bullshitting you?
I believe it.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you. You're a good man, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you. Thank you. Give me a hand.
Hi. My mom's side of the family, and my mom trained me to love Star Trek, especially Next Gen.
Have you completed your training?
You could say I'm a master at it.
You're a master at it. Right. Nice. Nice work, Mom.
Yeah. But my question is, if you could have one piece of technology from Star Trek, what would you have? And
Hands
why?
down. I want to be beamed, baby. I want to be beamed. Well, see, I didn't think of that. I still want to be beamed.
Me too.
Okay.
It cut traffic off like 28%.
And we're in agreement. We're in agreement. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Obviously, that leads to where would you like to be beamed to?
I would love to be beamed many places.
Back to Toronto sometime soon, hopefully.
Well, I haven't left yet.
Next question.
Hi, my name is Danette, and first off, I want to thank you for the wonderful job you did on Reading Rainbow. Actually, when I was younger, I lived in welfare and I didn't have books or anything, and I had a speech problem. And through watching Reading Rainbow, I've actually fixed my speech problem. But my question for
That's fantastic. I'm still working on mine.
But my question for you is, with Star Trek, I'm playing Geordi, somebody who has a disability and is able to overcome it. How often, or what's been the best thing someone said to you about how you've been an inspiration to them?
You know what? I meet a lot of people, and this weekend is no exception. You might, but maybe not, be surprised by the number of people who have become engineers based on their love of Star Trek and Geordi as an engineer, as a representative of that time-honored profession. Also, I'm really, really proud of the number of people who have also become black. Which is a real compliment, I think, to the acting stylings of Levar Burton. When people really, really, really want to become black. Well, yeah, when nobody wanted to become Kunta Kinte, you see, it was the whooping that sort of put folks off, you know what I'm saying?
The quick follow-up is, how was it actually to play someone who had to overcome a disability?
It was, to the best of my ability to remember, a stone cold gas every single day.
Hello, I'm Paul.
Hello, Paul.
My question is, what was it like on that Reading Rainbow episode where you did behind the scenes of Star Trek Next Generation? Which is my favorite episode.
Is it your favorite episode, Paul?
Yeah.
Of Star Trek or of Reading Rainbow? Of both. It was cool and confusing, but ultimately it worked out okay. I was able to remember when I was supposed to be Levar, and then I had lots of help reminding me when I was supposed to be Geordi, so I never got the two confused.
You didn't have any issues with the producer of Star Trek saying, don't talk about that.
Actually, you know what? Here's the truth. Rick Berman, you may not know about this about Rick. Rick Berman actually produced a children's television series called The Big Blue Marble back in the day. And yeah, Big Blue Marble fan. Yeah. And so Rick knew how important Reading Rainbow was to me, and Rick was really responsible for making it possible for me to go shoot Reading Rainbow whenever we had a need. So thank you, Rick. Yeah. That's fine.
So I kind of got you backwards. I started with Next Generation and then discovered Reading Rainbow through that. And I'll be honest and say it took me a couple of years to figure out that Geordi and the Reading Rainbow guy and Kwame from Captain Planet were all the same person.
Nothing gets by you.
So, but as someone,
I made myself snort.
it's nice to see that you're as funny in person as you are on Twitter.
Who follows Kunta on Twitter? About 12. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. Follow back.
So my question for you is, as someone who's done 4 pretty iconic series roles, would you do another series?
Would I do another series? I would. In fact, I am doing another series. There's a show that is currently airing in the States on TNT called Perception, which stars Eric McCormack, Canadian. The very lovely, very talented Eric McCormack plays Dr. Daniel Pierce, a neuroscience professor at a university at which I am the dean, Dean Paul Haley, named after Alex. Dr. Daniel Pierce is a professor of neuroscience. He's a schizophrenic. He's off of his meds, and he helps the FBI solve crimes.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And it was announced on Friday that Perception has been picked up for a second season.
You mentioned Captain Planet.
Yes.
There have been some funny parody videos proposing a Captain Planet series, but as a serious question, is the world ready, or should we have a Captain Planet reboot or next generation of Captain Planet? Does the world need more Captain Planet right now?
Let our powers combine.
We got time for a few more questions, so let's keep going.
Hi, I was just wondering, with your obvious dedication to reading Rainbow, how much time do you get to read, and what books have you read recently that you've really enjoyed?
Wow, that's a great question. I read all the time. I've generally got several books going simultaneously. Right now I'm reading, my favorite time to read is like at night in bed with my iPad. I have a stack of books by my bed, but I just tend to read from the iPad because my wife hates being woken up in the middle of the night by the light. So the iPad has a wonderful nighttime setting, so I can get away with reading until I fall asleep. I love it. What am I reading now? Oh, Gardner Dozois always does a compendium of the best science fiction of the year, so I'm working my way through one of those best of science fiction. I just finished reading a book that I wrote a foreword for my friend Dr. Stephen Johnson, a book about what constitutes a good man. And what else am I reading? I'm also reading it's sort of a revisiting of the Chronicles of Thomas Covenant, The Unbeliever by Stephen R. Donaldson. Big fan of Donaldson and his Unbeliever series.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Hello, hi.
Hi.
By the way, I've made black very fashionable way before you made it.
Yes, I'm certain that you did. Which means you're older now. But I did. Maybe not.
No, my first question is, I was just wondering, Marina has said she's taken something, Nana just said maybe she's borrowed something. What is in the Levar Burton home sense that is from the TNG stage?
The visor.
That's all you're going to admit to?
That's the most important thing I took. Given that there was only one of them. It's gonna put my kid through law school.
Going back to the Reading Rainbow, you went to Montserrat during one of the filming scenes.
My Little Island?
Yes, and lately with the volcano.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on that?
On volcanic eruptivity, activity on the planet?
Yeah, well, we're at Montserrat when, because they had the, I think it was, they just had a volcano, and parts of the island, you know, it's not inhabitable right now.
Unfortunately, of volcanoes, they create new land, and apparently they really don't care where we built structures. They're really insensitive like that, volcanoes. Of course, it's a tragedy when, you know, somebody gets their home turned into lava flow. But it is a beautiful sight, don't you think? Yeah, me too. You're welcome.
Hi. I am Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Jacob, Mark. I watched all of your TNT episodes. What is your favorite TNT episode?
Of all time? You know what? We did 179 episodes. I count All Good Things as 2. They're about 75, 80 I've never seen. You guys are like the most suspect crowd I have ever done a Q&A for. You don't believe shit I say, do you? Canadians are polite, but very skeptical. When we did the show, it was just too difficult to watch and do it. We worked 12 hours a day, 12, 14 hours a day, 5 days a week, 10 months of the year. I figure now I have the opportunity to see episodes for the rest of my life, which is like, oh, good, I'm in this one. It's a Geordi episode. Cool.
Well, how about one that you directed of any of the series then?
Boy, I gotta say,
seen those ones.
I gotta say, I'm really fond of the 100th episode of Voyager Timeless.
Hi, sir. I'm glad you encouraged me to come and watch this. It's been very entertaining. And thanks again for the autograph. Of all the people you worked with, is there anyone you didn't work with that you would like to work with?
I did not have the opportunity to work with Marlon Brando.
Yeah, I hear he was quite a character. And what you said about Nichelle Nichols, you're very concise about that. She's a very nice, very generous lady. I've met her a couple of times. And I don't know if you agree with me or not, sir, I think she really set the standards for African-American actors in TV and movies and really raised the level up. And I think anytime you see her, you've got to really thank her for what she did for television history. Do you agree, sir?
I do every time I see her.
Yeah. Have you seen her lately?
Sorry?
Have you seen her lately, sir?
I have.
How's she doing?
She's fine.
You're very generous with your time and have a good day.
Yes, you too.
Nichelle Nichols was here at Fan Expo last year.
Was she?
Yeah, I moderated her panel. She's absolutely lovely.
Yeah,
It was
she's the best.
One of the most moving experiences I've had on a panel at a convention.
Love Nichelle. Love Nichelle.
Hi, how's it going?
It's all right. How do you think it's going?
It's going all right.
Okay.
I was just wondering, out of all of your TNG castmates, who's the most fun to work with? Like, who would you say is your, who's your favorite? And which one, of course, the opposite, which one don't you like?
Not a big fan of Brent Spiner, but I do love Data. Big fan of Data. Thank you, sir.
I just moderated the Nana visitor panel. Nat, I can't say it the way she wants us to say it. She taught me the panel. Nana. French, yeah. I asked her if she was having a dinner party where she could only invite 6 people that she has worked with, who would she want to invite? Same question to you then. Of the people that you've worked with in your career, if you're making the best, dinner invite, you're gonna have crazy characters, who would be at your dinner table?
Only 6?
Only 6. I don't know, arbitrary number I picked at random.
No, that sucks.
You want more seats?
Hello? Look, you don't want to piss Marina Sirtis off by not inviting her to
she's got to be number 1.
That wouldn't be good. And then if you invite Marina, you gotta invite Gates. And then if you're gonna invite the chicks, you gotta invite Dorn, because, he's Dorn. And then you want to invite Jonathan and Brent, because that's who you're gonna drink with.
Right.
And then you gotta invite Patrick, because he's gonna pick up the bill.
Hi. Okay, I'm gonna go right back to Roots, because that's the first time I saw you.
Any Roots fans in the house?
And that made a very big part of my life different, because as a younger black girl at that time, we weren't that popular. And so it actually made being black a more important thing and a more interesting thing. It led me to read more on my history.
Right.
So I thank you for that.
My pleasure.
I also thank you because now I have 4 children, and my 3rd one has special needs. And reading Rainbow, she will watch over and over again on her iPad. You put her to sleep. But your voice is very relaxing, so I've been just recording your voice so that I can get her to go to sleep.
What is her name?
Her name is Sienna.
Sienna. Go to sleep. Sienna. Time for bed. Sienna.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry, my question is...
Oh, there's a question!
Oh, it's not just a love of Levar Burton fest here.
That's what I came in for. They told me backstage, it's a love fest out there for Levar Burton. I said, I'm in! Where do I sign up?
Now I hear that you're a sci-fi writer, so maybe my question is mute. How hard was it to learn all the technical jargon that you had to know as well, or learn, because I know they made up a lot of that stuff, but some of it is obviously rooted in fact. How hard was that to keep track of when you were doing it?
It was not difficult to keep track of the technobabble at all, because you see, my strategy was to use my short-term memory. So I would learn the dialogue, and then in the delivery, I would spit it out as fast as I possibly could, giving the illusion that I knew what I was talking about. And then I would promptly forget it, making room in the storage banks for more technobabble the following morning.
Okay, did that ever happen, come out later and you said something from yesterday or 2 days ago?
I can guarantee not a single time. You're welcome.
We gotta wrap it up. Levar Burton is signing autographs.
Yes.
Before we go, you want to say anything back to this crowd that came out for the Levar Burton Love Fest?
I would like to say you have been an incredible Canadian contingent. You have represented your countrymen and women well. Very happy to have spent this time with you. I'll see you next time, but you don't have to take my word for it.
Levar Burton, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the Expo.
Enjoy the car!